The holiday season can be a particularly stressful time for caregivers because there's such a huge expectation, one, on merriment and joy and festivity and high energy and positivity that a caregiver simply may not be feeling. And there's also a huge expectation of time-consuming tasks, from things like attending neighborhood parties, attending office parties, and things like sending out the holiday cards and the Christmas wish lists and the gifts for everyone on your list, decorating the house, decorating a tree, putting together a huge meal. These are things that tax people under normal circumstances. When you take a caregiver's role, which is very often more than a full-time job, it's a 24/7 job, and it's the hardest job that people will ever have, and you add all of that burden and expectation on it, it's simply undoable. Stress can impact caregivers' wellness and health in a lot of important ways. I think one of the most important is sleep. For caregivers, being able to get enough sleep already can be a really, really difficult thing to do. Stress impacts sleep. It can make us feel incredibly fatigued, and it also simply creates sleep disturbance, such as insomnia, and that can be a really difficult thing to cope with. Stress often can lead also to really unhealthy behaviors that only impacts that. A number of people either don't eat at all or eat a lot or make unhealthy food choices, unhealthy drinking choices when they're feeling stressed, which again only further impacts their ability to cope. One of the most important things for coping with the holidays for a caregiver is going to be to cope with stressful events and to reduce the number of stressful events, to think actively, proactively at what the holidays might look like, and really create manageable and realistic expectations. We tell people to try to focus on what's really important during the holidays, and what maybe doesn't need to get done. Would the world end if the holiday cards didn't get out this year or didn't get out on time? Would that be okay? Would it be okay if gift giving this year was all over the internet, or if everyone got a symbolic book or the same simple gift? Those kinds of things. There are a number of things a caregiver can do to minimize stressful responses. And I think the first thing that's important to recognize is that stress is actually something that's under our control. There's tremendous numbers of things in our lives, and caregivers know this best, that we can't control. But our response to those things is under our control and something that we can impact. And stress is one of those. Getting enough sleep and exercising and eating well are the first things that people need to do. Those are sometimes pretty daunting expectations of a caregiver, but those basic levels of self-care are really, really strong tools. Another incredibly simple but very powerful tool is coming to us from behavioral health sciences. Very simply, to place a hand on your belly and feel your breathing. Just focus on the breathing. It's something simple, right, that anyone can do, but has actually very powerful ramifications. So if with that hand on your belly, you can slow the breathing down, just focus on breathing nice and slow, feeling the stomach come in and out and in and out. And it may take a little time, and it may take repetition, and will certainly take practice. But if the body is breathing slowly, the mind cannot feel stress. And considering the different impacts of stress on one's body, on one's happiness, on one's sense of calm and well-being, and on one's ability to caregive well for the loved one, for the patient. These are important tools to have.